Yo, listen, television history is filled with famous episodes, iconic finales, and classic sitcom moments. But I am telling you right now, very few shows ever changed television itself the way All in the Family did. Nah, for real, this series was not just entertaining audiences. It was detonating cultural bombs inside American living rooms every single week. Race, politics, religion, sexuality, war, women's liberation, economic anxiety. Nothing was off limits. And honestly, some episodes were so revolutionary that television literally looked different afterward. So today, we are counting down the top 10 most groundbreaking episodes of All in the Family because, trust me, these episodes did not just push boundaries. They shattered them completely. Number 10, Archie is branded. Yo, listen, this episode was genius because it forced Archie to experience discrimination emotionally for himself. After discovering he has been unfairly categorized and stereotyped by institutions, Archie suddenly becomes furious about assumptions being made regarding his identity. And honestly, the brilliance of the episode is how it exposes prejudice without giant dramatic speeches. The audience watches Archie emotionally react to the exact same kind of unfair labeling he constantly places on other people. That irony made the episode groundbreaking. Number 9, Crisis of Faith. Nah, for real, television almost never allowed older female characters to wrestle openly with spiritual doubt during the 1970s. Watching question religion emotionally after witnessing cruelty and injustice felt shockingly honest for mainstream television. Jean delivered one of the most emotionally vulnerable performances in sitcom history here. And yo, this is another hot take. I honestly think this episode proved All in the Family understood emotional realism better than most serious dramas. Number 8, The Draft Dodger. This episode remains unbelievable because it captured the emotional civil war happening inside America during Vietnam perfectly. A draft dodger and a decorated military veteran end up sitting together during Thanksgiving dinner, while Archie tries emotionally surviving the tension. The arguments, the fear, the resentment, everything feels painfully authentic. And trust me, audiences watching during the 70s saw their own divided families reflected in this episode immediately. Number 7, Archie and the KKK. Yo, listen, this episode was savage political satire decades before modern television became comfortable confronting extremism directly. Archie unknowingly becoming connected to a group tied to the Klan exposed how ordinary prejudice can slowly drift toward dangerous radicalism without people fully recognizing it. And honestly, this is another reason the episode still feels disturbingly modern today. Number 6, 50th birthday. Nah, for real, this episode changed sitcom television forever. Watching survive trauma while the family emotionally struggles afterward was something mainstream comedy simply did not attempt before. The episode handled fear, vulnerability, and emotional recovery with devastating realism. And yo, Gene's performance here remains one of the greatest performances ever given in television history. Seriously. Number 5, Judging Books by Covers. This episode became revolutionary because Archie discovers his hyper-masculine football player friend is actually gay. The emotional collapse of Archie's stereotypes changed television permanently because mainstream sitcoms rarely portrayed gay characters with this level of humanity during the 1970s. And honestly, the episode still works beautifully because it attacks prejudice through emotional contradiction instead of simplistic moral lectures. Number 4, Sammy's visit. Yo, listen, everybody remembers the famous moment where Sammy Davis kisses Archie on the cheek. But this episode mattered for deeper reasons, too. It forced race relations, celebrity culture, and Archie's discomfort with integration directly into one explosive storyline. That final freeze frame became one of the most iconic images in television history for a reason. Because audiences instantly understood the social commentary emotionally. Number 3, Meet the Bunkers. Nah, for real, this was not just a pilot episode. This was a television revolution. The first episode of All in the Family immediately exploded with arguments about race, religion, feminism, class, and generational conflict. Audiences had literally never seen sitcom characters talk this way before. The language felt dangerous. The arguments felt real. The emotional tension felt uncomfortable. And television changed forever that night. Number 2, Everybody Tells the Truth. Yo, this episode was groundbreaking structurally and psychologically. The same situation gets retold differently by each character, exposing how personal bias shapes memory and perception itself. And honestly, this feels incredibly modern now, because the episode quietly explored something America still struggles with today. People emotionally rewrite reality to fit their worldview. The storytelling innovation alone made this episode legendary. And number 1, Judging Books by Covers. Yeah, I know it already appeared earlier, but honestly, this episode deserves the number 1 spot because its cultural impact was enormous. Nah, for real, television history changed after this episode aired. Archie Bunker, one of America's most traditional masculine television characters, discovers his athletic, tough guy friend is gay, while the man Archie suspects of being gay actually is not. That twist completely shattered stereotypes millions of viewers carried emotionally. And the brilliance was that the episode remained funny, while delivering one of the most important social messages in sitcom history. No giant speeches, no emotional manipulation, just humanity exposing prejudice naturally. That is genius television writing. Now here comes another hot take before we finish. I honestly think what made these episodes truly groundbreaking was not only the controversial subjects themselves, it was the emotional honesty. The show trusted audiences enough to feel uncomfortable, to argue, to disagree, to recognize themselves inside ugly conversations. That honesty changed television forever. Now, yo, another reason these episodes still matter today is because most of the issues they explored never disappeared. Racism, political polarization, religious conflict, economic anxiety, gender debates, sexual identity, distrust between generations. The details evolved. The emotional tensions stayed exactly the same. And trust me, that is why younger audiences still connect with All in the Family now. The show feels less like ancient television history and more like America arguing with itself continuously across different decades. Now let us talk about performances for a second because without this cast, none of these episodes work. Somehow made Archie simultaneously hilarious, infuriating, tragic, and human. Gene gave the series emotional warmth and moral grounding. Rob and Sally brought younger generational frustration alive perfectly. That chemistry transformed controversial topics into emotionally believable family conflict. And honestly, that balance remains almost impossible to replicate. At the end of the day, the most groundbreaking episodes of All in the Family changed television because they proved sitcoms could confront real social conflict honestly without losing humor, humanity, or emotional complexity. These episodes forced audiences to laugh while simultaneously confronting prejudice, fear, hypocrisy, and cultural change. And honestly, very few television series have ever been brave enough to do that this consistently. That is why All in the Family remains one of the most important shows ever created. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with every classic television fan you know because we are diving deep into the history of groundbreaking television on this channel. More Norman Lear retrospectives are coming soon. More classic sitcom analysis, more television history deep dives, and more legendary episode rankings that changed entertainment forever. And tell me in the comments, what do you think is the single most groundbreaking All in the Family episode? Because trust me, choosing only 10 episodes for this list was almost impossible.